nice out here. Hi everyone, Nigel Saunders here. Today I'll be working on my Vietnam style Ficus microcarpa. I looked up what microcarpa means. Micro means small, of course, and carpa means fruit, so it means a small fruit. So it's a ficus with a small fruit. I've got my Ficus microcarpa isolated with a black background. And one of the things I like to do with my bonsai is to take a picture like this and then look for details that reveal how big the tree is. You know, maybe it's leaf size, maybe it's the branch structure, maybe it's the root base, maybe it's the pot. I like to have it so when you look at a picture of the tree, you can't really guess how big the tree is. So this tree, I'm looking at it and I'm looking for features on it that give away the size of it. If I were to look at this tree in a photo, I would say the root system kind of gives it away. It's not that detailed. I've got a lot of thick kind of coarse sections to the root base. The leaf size also gives it away a bit. They're a little large for this tree. They could be miniaturized even more, I think. The soil surface gives it away. It's not very tidy. It doesn't look very miniature either. It doesn't have nice moss on it or anything like that. I think the pot is very convincing. You can't really tell the scale of the tree from the pot. It's a good miniature looking pot. So I think today I'll try and address some of these issues and try and work towards making this miniature tree look bigger so it looks even more miniature. Here's a look at the size of my Ficus microcarpa in the 3D printed Vietnam style bonsai pot. Today I'll be working on this small tree, trying to make it look even bigger. Every bonsai book will tell you to wait until you get 6 to 8 pairs of leaves on each branch before you prune it back. On a small miniature tree like this, if you do that, the branches will get too thick and coarse. So you've got to prune it before you get 6 to 8 pairs of leaves. In this case, I've just got a few leaves growing on it. So maybe there's 4 leaves on this branch, so I'll prune it back to 2. Frequent pruning of the tree will help miniaturize the branches and the leaves and everything, but it's also very stressful on the tree. So you have to keep your tree super healthy to be able to do this constant pruning on it. I'll be pruning the branches back, but there may also be some branches that I need to eliminate if new shoots came out in the wrong places, wrong direction. So I'll be cleaning up the structure of the tree also. Before I begin, I'll rotate the tree around so you can see it from all angles. So this is the front, coming along to the right side. So you can see this root is quite thick here, needs to be corrected. Coming around to the back, there's my escape root that goes down into the soil below. There's a few thick roots developing back here also that may need to be thinned. Coming around to the left-hand side, this side's looking fairly good. There's a lot of miniature looking roots. And back to the front. All right, here I go on the pruning. So I'm taking a look at the tree. Now at the front here, I pruned off a branch, and from that location, I got 2 branches growing. There's a look at the new shoots right here, this one and the one off to here. So they're not a bad location, but they are at the front of the trunk here, and they're kind of, at least they're not poking, you know, straight at the viewer. They're not eye poker branches. However, I have a more thickly developed branch up top. So I've got to decide, what do I want to do in that area? So I'll look from the front here. So that thicker branch I had doesn't come straight out, but it's slightly off to the right hand side. It's not really an eye poker branch. And you can see even at the base of that branch, I've got a lot of new shoots. There's 1, 2, 3 here. So there's a lot of new shoots that have come out on the tree. They are kind of nice, you know, because it does give some foliage down lower on the trunk. Kind of keeps the tree, well, the possibility to keep it shorter. If you start removing all these branches, well, then you start getting into a taller tree. So I think I'm going to keep those 2 new ones down low, at least for now. If I, when the tree's finished today, if I look at it and I say, oh, they're just not working, I'll take them off. But I think for now I'll keep them. And then this branch coming out the front here, it's not a bad branch. I'm going to keep that, and I'm going to remove the ones that are around it. So here I go with that. So there's one off to the side here. I'll take that one off. Like that. And then there's one that comes off to this side. I'll get rid of that one. And then there's one growing straight out from underneath that branch. I'll get rid of that. Like that. So now you can see the structure a little more clearly. I'll reduce this one back. I've got a leaf back here and one here, so I'll just, if I take this back to here, then my new branch will grow in across the trunk. So ideally, you want to develop the bud coming off that one way back there. If I prune back to there, it'll probably be shaded out. So I think I'll take it back to here for now. And then if that shoot develops back in there, I can prune the front off that branch. Here's another one, the same case. I have a small leaf back here and another one here, so I'll take it off here. Like that. Now this branch that comes up front here, it's got one that crosses, this branch is coming out to the right hand side, and then there's a branch that crosses the trunk line. I think that has to be removed, so here I go, like that. There's another one in further that does the same thing. I got to get rid of that. Now, off to the side, I kind of have a second trunk back here. And my original intent, I removed all these side branches off this primary trunk to reveal that trunk a bit. And since then, I've got some branches that have grown in. And I've got to decide, do I want to keep them? Again, it's some nice branching at a lower level. So I'm thinking I do want to keep the one facing forward, and the one that's coming out to the side I'll remove, because it's nice to get some foliage coming forward on the tree. You don't want flat fronts on them. So off comes the lower one, like that. And I keep the one that's coming out front. Now above that, there's some more branches, some new ones. And again, I've got 2 coming from one spot. I think I want to keep the one coming out front and get rid of the one coming out the side, because I have side branches back here further on the second trunk. So I'll prune off this one like that. That's looking better. So this one's kind of coming out front again. Then I've got a branch coming off the secondary trunk back here. I can certainly prune it back. I've got some leaves here, so I'll take the tip off like that. And then this branch kind of comes up. I like the vertical part, or the branches in the apex. And then as you go down the tree, they come from vertical to horizontal and then drooping. So at this point in the tree, I think I want my branches fairly horizontal, and this one kind of sweeps up. I think I have this branch coming off of it down below. I think I've got to take off the vertical part, so I will. Here I go. Like that. Just above that branch, I have another one. Kind of a ladder branch. It's directly above the one below. I don't think I want the upper one. No, it's got to come off. Now I'm following this branch out. I've got kind of, again, this is at the horizontal level, so I don't want much going up. So I'm going to remove some of these branches that go straight up, like that one. And there's one behind that I can take out. Like that. Now I can reduce this branch back to 2 leaves. Like that. And this one I can take the vertical part off develop a new branch more horizontally from that leaf. There's a leaf sticking straight up here. I'll take that off. It's blocking light to the lower part of the branch, so cleans that up. I've got a branch here that comes out and it's starting to go vertical. And again, this is sort of in the section where I want the branches more horizontal. I'm going to start by pruning it off here. And then I've got to look, this trunk line, I cut the top off, and my new leader is actually kind of over here, but it goes horizontal. I prefer something more vertical there, but I don't have anything. So, not unless I develop this one back there, which is not too bad. I'll do that. I'll keep this one, and I'll prune away some of the others. This little one here. There's a little one here. And then I'll want to prune this one off shorter. Like that. There's a dead one in here. I'll prune that off, just a little one. And then there's a shoot that comes up from this trunk line. And I have a leaf coming forward. And then it kind of shoots up into the canopy. I'm going to prune it off to that leaf that's coming forward. So that comes out like that. Maybe it comes out there. I've kind of got two crisscrossing branches here. I'm not so sure I need this one, which was supposed to be my branch leader, but it's not very good. I think I want to develop this other one as my branch leader. It's kind of going more upwards. So I think I'm going to take this one right off. I'm going to prune it back to a stump. So here I go. Like that. Then decide, yeah, I can take that right off, that stump sticking out. So here I go. Like that. Yeah, I think that's a good future direction. This is my leader, horizontal branch. I think that'll tidy this section up nicely. Now, I'm going up the tree here. So there's this one that came forward. I think that one, can't really prune it. All I can do is take the butt off the tip of this. I don't know if I want to do that. I think I better let it grow for a bit longer. Nah, we'll take it off here. Take it off. So I'm going up this trunk line now, up here. So I'm finding up here, the main trunk divides into sort of two major branches, and there's one coming forward. I think I want to take the vertical ones off here to clean it up a bit. There's a couple of new shoots that have grown in. Everything else looks fairly good on that branch, other than I can prune the tip off like that, and prune the tip off of this one like that. This one I can prune it back to here, like that, and this one back to here, like that. Now, I think I have two branches here, and I think I want to keep the one coming out front, and this one's got to go, so I'll take that one out. It was kind of getting a bit cluttered there. I don't think, because I have these two branches, I don't think I need the branch leader coming up the middle. I think I'm going to remove that and shorten it to more of a horizontal branch. And then I have my leader coming up here, which I can even shorten that. Take the tip off of it like that, and then prune this back. And this one can be pruned back like that. And then this one off to the side can also be pruned back like that. That's getting this section tidied up here. Very precision pruning. It's kind of fun. Clean up a stub there. Now, so this branch coming off to the side, I've got one coming out the front. I'm going to remove there's a vertical one. I'm going to take that off. It's just too vertical. And then I think I don't think I need the vertical one here either. That one can come out, and this one can be shortened back like that. I'll take this vertical leaf off here too. It's just kind of cluttering up the look of the tree. Okay, so this is getting better. I've got a branch coming out the back here. Needs pruning back, so I'll prune the tip off. There's a dead stump I'll take off from last time I pruned it. There's also a few branches on the inside here that need pruning. I'll show you those. So right in here, at the base of this branch, there's 2 new shoots that have developed, so I'll clean those out like that. And there's a leaf coming out the bottom, a new shoot. I'm going to take that off too. I don't want that there. This one at the back can be pruned back shorter to here. And there's one sticking up here, coming off the inside, that can be shortened back to here. So that's got this kind of apex cleaned up here. I think it's looking quite good, I think. Now out the back, I have I don't know if that's alive, but there's a shoot here that was growing, kind of fanning out, and then it decided to grow another one more vertical here. So I don't want that vertical one. I'm going to take that out. And hopefully, I think that branch is still alive. Hopefully something better will develop off of that branch. I've got a shoot coming from way down in the depths of the tree sticking up here, which I don't want. I'll take that out. I don't want a branch in that area. There's a nice little branch out the back here that's developing. That's quite nice. So I think that kind of leaves this trunk line, and we can come to this back one now, which is a fairly complex one. So I'll start, there's a branch growing out the back here that's very long. I'll take it off, reducing it back. There's another one coming out the bottom, take that back. There's one coming out here, I'll take that back. There's one shooting straight up, I'll take that off. Actually, I'll leave that. That might develop in this direction. I'll just take the tip off it. Yeah, I could use a branch out this way. So this is the back of the tree. The root system's a little more coarse, but we still want to make the back of the tree look as nice as possible. Just cleaning up some pruning stubs here. This branch going vertical here, I'll take off. Nice horizontal branch there. Now, there's a branch coming out the back here. It's kind of going, this is the radial direction of the branch, and it's kind of skewed way over here. So I'm going to redirect it by pruning to a leaf that's facing a radial direction. So I'll take it off here. There's a branch coming out here. I'll take the tip off. Now we're getting up into the apex region here. There's another branch coming from way in the depths growing up in front of that trunk line. I'm going to take that off also. Just clutters things up. So I'm coming up to this trunk line, which you can see from the front view. It's back here. It's kind of important because it's between these 2 or 3, I guess, kind of fanning out major trunk lines. So I'm looking at it from the front. The one that comes forward is okay. This one can be reduced back to here, like that. The one that's coming forward, Do I need it? No, I don't. I'm going to take that forewing off. It's kind of awkward looking. I also have too many branches growing from one spot there too. Okay, there's a stump here I can clean off from last time I pruned the tree. Now, there's a little itty bitty branch developing here. I don't want that either. I'm taking that out. There is such a thing as too many branches, especially in, one spot on the tree. Okay, and then out the back, I've got this branch divides into two. I can reduce the height of it back to there. I can reduce the length of this one back to there. Actually, I can go even shorter to there. And this one off to here. Flattening that branch out. I can even take that one off up the middle here. I'll take that out so it divides from the 1 to 2 here. Now there's one coming up here. I've got, a thick one here that decided to shoot out more horizontally, so I can take that back to here. And then take the dead part off the top of that, like that. I've got 2 shoots sticking straight up here and one in the front. Let me see. Okay, I don't need either of these shoots sticking straight up, so they come off. That one I could leave. Let me see what it looks like. No, doesn't look very good. So off it comes. Okay, that's helping to clean that up. I'll just take this back a bit shorter. Now, I've got a lot of stuff going on here. I've got, even on this trunk line, I've got a branch growing underneath. A couple of them. I gotta clean this up a bit. Take this one off. Take this one off. And take that one back to there. That helps. It helps get that one cleaned up a bit. I may have to, I still need to clean it up a bit more. A lot of branches coming from one place there, so I'm down to one now. Okay, now let's go up this trunk line. I got lots of branches coming off here. I think from the front it's just a bunch of clutter, so I've got to clean it out. There's 2 branches coming off from one spot here. One is going straight towards this branch. The other is coming out the back. So I think I'm going to take the one off here, clean that up, give this branch some room, prune this one back, clean up that stub like that. So this is in the kind of horizontal section, down low or drooping. And I'm looking at this branch. This part of it goes vertical, the one I just pruned. But I have a lower one that's more horizontal, so I'm going to take the tip off that one back to here. So I developed that more in a horizontal pattern or direction. There's one growing up from it here that I'll take off, cleaning that one out. I don't know why there's a leaf in here. It's attached to something. There's another vertical one coming from a branch down here. I can take that off. Another one on the inside here. I'll take that off. There's one growing straight out the back from the branch up here. I'll take that one out. I was just cluttering everything up. Each branch has to have light, so you don't want a lot of little fine branches coming out all over the place that clutter your tree up. There's one off of this lowest branch here. There's one growing upwards. I'm going to take that off. This branch is fine here, but you can see there's the upper part, which is nice, but there's a thinner lower one. I don't think I need that. I'll prune it off short for now. Keep it, but I don't think I need it. There's a stub I can prune off here. I can prune this branch back to there. I can prune this one back to here. And there's one growing up here. Again, I've got to decide, which branches do I want to keep in this area. And I don't think it's this one. So this one's coming off like that. And there's one coming up here. It's not the worst branch in the world. I'll prune it off short. But then you can see directly above it I have another branch. One of them has to stay and one has to go. They're both running kind of parallel to each other. So I think I'm going to keep the lower one in this case because this one is kind of hidden behind this one anyway. So this one kind of you'll see from the front, this one you won't. So off it comes like that. Now off of here, I can prune this one back shorter. I've got one coming kind of straight out the front here. And I have the branch developing off to the side. It's not the worst branch in the world. I'll redirect it, so I'll prune it back to here. And it might, it'll develop out this way. This one can be reduced back. This one could be reduced back. I can go back shorter on that one. Now, from the inside here, I've got a lot of confusion. There's a branch coming out here, a little shoot I can take out. There's one growing up here I can take out. Just find little new branches that have grown in, back budding. Keep your best ones and get rid of the others. There's one kind of growing up behind here. I've got to get that out. There, got it. I'm looking at the front now. I have a branch here kind of crisscrossing towards the center. I don't want that. I'm taking that one out. And there's also one growing up in front of this other trunk. I want to take that one out. It's nice to get all these new little shoots. It gives you choices. Choices for further pruning. You can keep your best branches and get rid of the ones that aren't growing in a very good direction. All right, so I'm up. I haven't done the apex of this branch here. There's a stub I can clean up here, like that. This one can be shortened. I've got some good leaves back here, so that gets shortened. This one can be shortened to here. I can move that leaf facing upwards there. Then I've got a bit of an apex here. These branches are kind of parallel here. I've got actually three of them. I've got this lower one, this one, and the upper one. They're all kind of sweeping the same direction. If I look at here, I've got, you can see there's three branches coming in one spot. This one has died off of the tip. It has a shoot down here. So I'll take the dead part off like that. That leaves me with kind of two branches, but again, there's one above the other. So this one here is getting a little thick to be up in the apex. It might look a little bare in this area, but I do have this branch up here. So I'm going to remove that one. It is quite thick to be that high up in the tree. I mean, I have some other thick ones here and here, but they're kind of major trunk lines. This is more of a branch because it's horizontal. It's not flowing upwards, so I think I've got to take it off. Tough decision. But it will be done. Here I go. It's removed. Now I might want to clean that cut up a bit. I'll just come in here and kind of clean that up a bit, like that. That looks better, like that. Now, how does the tree look? Well, actually, it looks quite good. It's not bad anyway. Where this, you can see this branch comes up, and then I've got a branch to the left, one to the right, and kind of this branch continues up the middle. Now, I could reduce that. I don't think I want the one coming in towards the center of the tree, do I? See, I could prune the top off that branch and leave the two left and right branches, or I could prune this one out and reduce this one back. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to prune the inside one out like that. And then I have a leaf here, I have a branch here. I'll reduce this one back, like that, and then I'll take the apex off right here, like that. And then that back branch, I'll prune back shorter. It's not the worst branch in the world. So that's kind of got that tidy up. I could reduce this back further. Have some leaves, so there. That cleans that up quite nicely, that apex now. Back here, I've got a dead bit of a branch there. Then I've got a parallel branch. There's a skinny new shoot growing beside my thicker branch here. This one's kind of going more horizontal, so I don't want that one. So the new one is going off, and I keep my old one like that. And I got a branch up here that's sticking up quite high. I'm going to take the tip off like that. I don't think I want this little one on the inside here. I'm going to take that one out. And I don't think I want this little thin one here. It interferes with this other branch here from the front view, so that's going to come out too. I think this one in between these trunks, I don't like that. That's got to come out. Something about it just doesn't look right, and there's a couple of shoots back here that have to come out too. There's one there. There are new shoots growing off the back of this trunk, and they're not in a very good location. Okay, so this one coming out the front is bothering me. I knew it would. I think I've got to develop this trunk line off to this side, and I've got to get rid of that one. So off it goes, and I'll have to clean it up, but here it goes. I've got to take it off. I got lots of kind of fanning out branches that I can develop, just so this one doesn't kind of poke so straight out towards the front. So off it goes, like that. And I'll clean that cut up a bit. Like that. That looks much nicer. The direction of this branch now sweeps off to the side. This one comes up nicely. I'm not real keen. There's something funny going on in the apex up here. I've got maybe too many parallel branches. Yeah, this branch and this branch are fairly parallel. And I don't know what to do about it. If I remove it, then I've got a big wide kind of Y shape here, which doesn't look so good. I just can't decide. Now, I do have an opportunity to shorten this apex here. I could take the tip off here. I think that would be a good idea. I'm going to shorten this back to here, like that. Yeah, I like that much better. Well, I think I have to get rid of this branch. It's coming kind of straight towards you. Yeah. I'll prune it off here. Maybe something will kind of come out horizontally. Off it goes. Yeah, that's all right. And maybe I can even shorten this one. I'm thinking of taking the tip off here. Yeah. Like that. Just when I thought I was done, I keep going. I did debate taking this tip off, and I'm thinking I need to do that. So I'm going to replace this thick tip with this thinner one. and it also fans out better. So that comes off too. At this back apex, I like this one, but this one kind of blocks the view of the one behind. So I think that one's got to come out. I think this one coming straight out front has to go. I'll keep this one. Get this one off. Yeah, this trunk line can be improved. I'm hoping these develop nicely. It starts to flow a little better. I think it will. I've got 2 branches growing from here. I'm going to get rid of the back one. Like that. Yeah, that's nicer. This one's got to be reduced back. And this one's too straight. I've got to reduce it back too. Like that, yeah. Okay. I think I'm finished pruning. I think I'm quite happy with it. Solved a lot of issues with the tree. I think it's going to develop quite nicely in the future. I think it's got a good structure going there. Something I can work on and refine. There's a look at how much foliage I took off the tree. Not a whole lot, but it is a lot for the size of the tree. Here's a look at the front view of the tree now. I think it's looking quite nice. I think the next area I want to work on is the roots. Trying to get them to look finer and more miniature. I've done some root carving to this tree in the past, taking a big thick root, carving slices down it to divide that thick root into smaller individual roots. And it's been working quite well, that technique. So I'm going to do some more root carving today. Here's a look where I carved the roots before. So I took a carving tool and I carved a groove down through the thick root. This used to be one big root. I divided it into 2. I divided it here and divided it here and here. So now I think I've got to get a finer tool and then further divide these roots into finer roots. I think that'll help with the illusion of scale. I checked through my toolbox and this is the finest, the thinnest gouge I have, and it's still too thick. So I thought, well, maybe, a scalpel. So I went out and I bought a scalpel handle and some blades for it. And I think that'll work really well. I'll cut out little thin sections of the root, dividing them up. I think I'm going to have to leave that for part 2 because I don't want to rush through this video. So I'll continue working away at it this afternoon, and then I'll post part 2 tomorrow, all the root work. There's a look at all the tools I'll be using for the root surgery. I'm quite excited about this little tree. I think, with the root work, it's going to look even better, and I'm very excited. I'm going to try some new techniques in this root work coming up in part 2. So I hope you join me tomorrow. I think it'll be a cool episode. I'm quite happy with the progress of my little ficus today, getting all that branch structure sorted out. I think it's just going to keep getting better and better in the future. Considering it started off as a supermarket ginseng ficus, I think it's come a long way. That's all for part 1 of this series. I'm Nigel Saunders. Thanks for joining me in the Bonsai Zone.